Okay, a little discombobulated today because I'm flying and there's a lot to do. So I was going to go Ohio gozaimasu, but the whole point of Ohio gozaimasu and saying it in addition to a hat tip to sumie is that there's the O at the beginning. Shakespeare uses the O. Oh my God. Oh my God. Scores of times. Oh, for a muse of fire. Oh, for a muse of fire. I need a muse of fire today to get everything moving and going and organized. And I need a muse of some kind. I need a muse of flying. So, oh, with the breath, but the O, the sound, connects the head and the heart, which is the vagus nerve. There's science behind every sort of mythology or spiritual practice or any of that kind of stuff. It all comes together at some point. I'll tell you that later, because that's a fun other thing I'm working on. But anyway, so Ohio gozaimasu. Oh. Breathe to get those organs. Why didn't I breathe this morning? And crush and sniff. I'm not taking my own advice. And how many times does that happen? In Shakespeare as well, where we just don't take our own advice to other people. Anyway, so I got some spearmint here. I'm back in the old, I named her Ruth, but then I keep calling her Penelope, and I didn't fill her head with flowers, which is unfortunate. But if we breathe and we crush and sniff, I'm maybe going to take a leaf off my spearmint, and I am calmer. My sense of humor has returned. And I thought this was funny. I got this at the farmer's market yesterday because life is just a bowl of cherries, right? So Shakespeare did not say that. That's a 1930s song, and it was said ironically because they were, into the Depression and all that kind of stuff. So isn't life just a bowl of cherries? But these are amazing cherries. These are sour cherries, and of course Shakespeare talks about it in a joke. He uses it as often a color reference and also friendship. We use it a lot for the friendship thing. I'm trying to find the cherries. A cherry's on a double stem, and that's Helena and Hermia in A Midsummer Night's Dream. But these are, okay, I would eat one, but what do you need to see me eat for? And also then you have to take this pit out. And cherry pits were actually used for a number of games, children's games and stuff. And it's sort of funny because, they had to use anything that was around for toys because they didn't have Toys R Us or mass-produced stuff. So they used cherry pits, and honestly, sorry, I dropped a cherry and I want to step on it because I have so much cleaning to do before I leave, but you don't care about that. So, I said, Hannah, what can I do before I fly? And I've noticed, the airlines are packed and people are fighting on the plane, which is a little scary. And a lot of people are traveling. Happy 4th of July for the Americans. I'm in Washington, D.C., where there will be a lot of fireworks tonight, and there were a lot of unlawful ones last night, and it is not the 4th of July in the UK. Now, I don't think they're still glum about it. They're like, fine, be independent. But anyway, the line that keeps coming to me, well, maybe we'll just use, for a muse of fire. Call forth your muse in whatever you're doing, and then we'll find out from Hannah how to freaking calm down when you're traveling. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to say. I drove to see a play last Saturday. Was that only last Saturday? And go sailing for the first time in 100 years with some friends of mine. And there were 4 crashes on the way. So people are very aggressive when they're out traveling. So we need Hannah to talk. In Shakespeare, all the way back from the 16th century, travel was stressful for them too, I just want to say, because I did a paper on this woman called Penelope Rich, which is why I call her Penelope. Hi, Hannah. Oh, you look so serene. That's nice.
I'm really not.
Okay. Well, you look it. I need a little serenity. Anyway, I was just talking about Penelope Rich, and I had done this thing on women's travel, and they rode horses. They had just come up with the cart situation, and so they had horses and carts and baskets and trunks and just, I mean, travel was not easy. And I was reading this very little. I don't read novels about especially my period, 16th century, because I don't want to get the facts mixed up. And I was reading this, and she dashed off here and she jutted off there, and I'm like, there was no dashing, there was no jutting, there was no running off here and there. It took a lot of planning to travel at all, and especially for women, because it was very discouraged for women to travel at all, and they were lumped in with lunatics and vagrants if they travel. So I'm going to be a lunatic and a vagrant today and get on a plane. Help me, Hannah. What do I take with me to make it smooth?
Well, I mean, I think probably any kind of travel, it's always good to take something soothing with you, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think, particularly whether it be on plane or whether it be on train or by car, that movement that comes with travel via a vehicle other than our feet, can cause things to get jolted a little bit and things to get upskittled. So I was thinking kind of more along the lines of sort of travel sickness.
Oh.
So when you're kind of, there are 2 or 3 herbs that are really good for travel sickness. And they can be used in kind of different ways. So one of the sort of the first ones that always comes to mind, that is very good, is root ginger. So ginger root is warming, but it's also calming for the digestion as well. So if you have some root ginger, and God, the sun's really weird here today. If you have some root ginger and infuse it, so just get a piece of ginger root and just very finely slice it and just put it in some boiling water. Not boiling, hot water in a cup.
Okay.
And sip it. It can really, really take down nausea and calm the digestion. Okay. But then linking in with that on a slightly more calming side of things is peppermint and chamomile.
Okay, so I have spearmint here. Is that going to work for me?
A little bit. Not as good as peppermint, but it's better than nothing.
Yep.
It's still antispasmodic, and it still has a cooling, kind of calming action. But peppermint on its own, or peppermint combined with chamomile, again as an infusion, just to sip. And most cafes, even if you haven't got any fresh herbs out on the road, most cafes stock peppermint tea and chamomile tea, so you can just well, they do over here anyway. I don't know what it's like.
I was just trying to think. That was my face. I was thinking I was in a rest stop because I drove down here on Friday, and also those, I mean, they were empty and you couldn't get anything because everything was closed, and now you can't get anything because the lines are ridiculously long. For Starbucks, I think, has chamomile tea and probably mint tea, but I was trying to think of all the other junk food places that are in there. So honestly, you should carry your own tea bags with you.
Yeah, that is a brilliant idea, because all you need is just like a little tiny tin or something, and just put your tea bags in the tin. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so there's a little tip. Tea bags in a tin to keep yourself calm inside and out while you're traveling. Is there anything for anger? Really?
Chamomile. So let's stick with these ones. So chamomile is slightly sedative, but it's chamomile's a nervine, so it helps to soothe the nervous system. Okay. So and it's also slightly bitter as well. So anything that's slightly bitter is going to help the liver and help with anger. So so chamomile would be another go-to there. And also, if you've got chamomile tea bags in your little tea tin or whatever you put them in, if your eyes are really tired when you arrive where you're arriving and you've got some chamomile tea bags left, you can wet them and just put them on your eyes.
Well, okay, that will be for tomorrow when I arrive in the UK at 11:15 in the morning. And then I do have to quarantine for an indeterminate right now amount of days. We're negotiating that. So anyway, thank you. I'm going to be calm. And this is how you guys can all be calm as you travel. Even, you know, the 4th of July, I think, can be stressful. We're having our independence from you today, Hannah. Sorry.
Okay.
There are a lot of fireworks, and I still call it the emergency room holiday, because every time, you know, one year my brother fell out of a tree and we had to go to the emergency room because he broke his arm. Another brother had a sparkler explode in front of his face. We had to go to the emergency room. One year we were on a boat to watch the fireworks, and my dad got out because we ran aground and stepped on a stingray, and we had to go to the emergency room. And I was just like, why don't we just go to the emergency room at the beginning of the day, bring a book, and ride it out? So, anyway, on that note, for a muse of fire, there you go, to fireworks, a muse of fireworks to help you navigate wherever you're going. Hannah, I may see you soon, but I will be in your country very soon. Okay. Bye, guys. Stay tuned for the next one because it's going to be weird and at a different time. Bye.